Hi folks, Derek Clark from the Rangers Review with a day in my life. This is me arriving at Napoli Airport after a pit stop at Palma in Mallorca following an early start flying out from Manchester. I headed off to Napoli train station because I was hot-footing it up to Rome to take in the Roma v Napoli Serie A match at the Stadio Olimpico. Look at that stadium. Atmosphere was electric this evening. It was housed into amongst the Roma diehards, and it really was a brilliant occasion to be a part of. Napoli running out 1-0 winners in the end. Thoroughly deserved, you have to say. They lead the table, and they also lead the Champions League group that Rangers are in. Also, they're flying high at the moment, and Giovanni van Bronckhorst are in for a tough evening on Wednesday, you suspect. Hi folks, Derek Clark from the Rangers Review here with another day in my life, day 2 of my trip to Naples to cover Rangers. So I left Rome in the morning, heading down to Napoli at breakneck speed, 299 kilometres an hour no less. Had to apply the kids factor 50 due to it being 25 degrees. Had a little bite to eat at Napoli train station before making my way to the ground where Rangers will play. Couldn't get in unfortunately, so just took a number of photos instead before making my way back to the city centre to head towards my digs for the next couple of days. This is me heading off the train and making the short trip. There's Jesus there, and then wait till you see this balcony, folks. It's an absolute beauty. This is it here. Johnny did a great job in finding it on Airbnb, and look at the scenery here. Mount Vesuvius over yonder. This is me pointing it out. There you go. And fantastic foliage. Look at the amount of plants here, but yeah, an absolute beauty. Then I headed down to get some pizza and a lovely Vin Rouge before making my way along to the Maradona pilgrimage and bar. So I headed up this side street. Maradona stuff everywhere, of course. He's idolised in the city. As you can see here, he's absolutely everywhere. So I made my way past the numerous mopeds and scooters up to the mural, which you'll see in just a second, and it's also a bar and a shop as well. There you go, fantastic stuff. The bar over on the left hand side. So that's day 2. Hi folks, Derek Clark from the Rangers Review here with another day in my life. Day 3 of my trip to Naples covering Rangers. So I started off with a little venture down to a cafe to have some breakfast in the morning, and then I had a wander outside. Here's a bank outside their apartment. There was some sort of protest going on. You can see the police van over yonder. It was taking place for much of the day. Had a chat with Napoli supporter Michela. Here's some great advice to Rangers fans heading to the city. You can go and check out our full interview on our YouTube channel, folks. The plan was to go and speak to Luciano Spalletti, but this train was cancelled in the end, so I never made my way over to the training ground. Instead, I went to the world famous L'Antica Pizzeria. Had to wait over an hour and a half for a pizza, but it was well worth it. This was a little shop next door selling half and half scarves, and there's a bar as well selling Tennent Super Lager. 9% it was, so couldn't have too many of them. This is me waiting a little bit more. This is the guys making the pizzas behind the scenes, and it was well worth the wait. Absolutely fantastic. After that, I made my way back to the apartment. This is me passing the bag again. The protest still going on. I picked up Stevie Clifford from Four Lads Had a Dream. What is going on with this badge in the corporate hotel? We then made our way over to the Diego Maradona Stadium to speak to Giovanni van Bronckhorst and Scott Arfield, who were put up for the press for tomorrow night's game in the Champions League. This is us just waiting on the player and the manager arriving. After that, we made our way back to the centre of Napoli on this Harum Scarum taxi ride in the little side streets of Napoli. It really was scary stuff, but we made it back in one piece, and we had a lovely meal in the centre of Napoli, myself and Stevie Clifford, and that was day 3, folks. Hi folks, Derek Clark from the Rangers Review with another day in my life, day 4 of my trip to Naples, and it's match day. So I started off with a breakfast, then headed off to my Airbnb, which was a stone's throw away from the Diego Maradona Stadium. This is the ground here, and you can see from my front door just how close it was. I had a couple of hours to kill, so I made my way back to the centre of Napoli for a little wander. Noticed this big Great Dane on my travels, so I had to take a little video. Look at the size of him, incredible. Stopped in a little pizzeria and had this little beauty. magic it was. Then I made my way to the archaeological museum, the big museum in Napoli. I'd recommend a visit. So spent just over an hour in there looking at all the artefacts, and noticed this wee guy playing a piano, which was pretty good. After that, I headed back to my apartment. As you can see, the atmosphere building outside the ground. This was a few hours before kick-off. The Rangers players receiving a rapturous applause as they made their way onto the pitch as the Champions League anthem blares out. Rangers going up against the Serie A leaders. Unfortunately, they would succumb to a 3-0 defeat, and the Napoli players taking the acclaim of the fans behind the goal. After that, I went to speak to Giovanni van Bronckhorst to get his post-match reaction in the press conference, and that was me done. I made my way outside the ground, and I was absolutely ravenous, so I stopped off at a lovely little Napoli bar near my apartment and had a Peroni and this lovely plate of chicken.